My name is Noah. I'm in my 30s, working in New York City. I live with my wife Amelia. I work for a multinational cosmetics company, and Amelia used to be a salesperson too. Despite our 8-year age difference, our shared love for music brought us together. At a karaoke outing after a welcome party for new employees, Amelia fell for my singing. Not to brag, but I'm pretty good at singing, having won a local talent show as a kid. Amelia, who also has a great voice, mentioned she loved singing. She told me that she played in a girls' band in her high school days, and she was chosen as a vocalist among the extracurricular pop music club, so she is quite capable. Moreover, she claimed that she knew how to play the guitar as well. I thought she was very skillful. Seeing bands where the lead plays guitar and sings has always impressed me. Considering how clumsy I am, it seemed incredibly hard to do both, so I've always had a lot of respect for that. Even after marrying Amelia, we often went to karaoke to blow off steam. Singing has a way of clearing your head and helping you forget the troubles. I've been getting nothing but snide remarks from the HR director, and it's been a great way to vent. I'm in sales, so why does the HR director dislike me? There's a reason for that. Apparently, the director had his sights set on Amelia and couldn't stand the fact that she married me. He's been having trouble with his wife for a while and has been plotting to divorce and remarry. But since Amelia chose me, he's been holding a grudge. First of all, a man who even considers another woman while still married is beneath contempt. I'm glad I didn't lose to such a man. You think you can just take Amelia from me? She was supposed to marry me. Why the hell did she choose you? Well, that's because Amelia chose me. What's with that tone, as if you're someone special to be chosen? I deserve to be chosen too. You must have lured her in with money or designer brands. There's no way she would have chosen you otherwise. That's not true at all. Amelia isn't even into designer brands that much. Even the bag she carries was a cheap one she picked up somewhere. Yeah, right. Women usually love designer brands. You don't understand women at all. Eventually, Amelia will get tired of you and dump you. That would serve you right. Is that so? Well, you're entitled to your opinion. It starts to feel silly to even engage seriously. Talking to the director feels like it could add a day's worth of fatigue. So I decided to cut the conversation short. The director ended up divorcing his wife, but I heard it was more like she left him. Apparently, he started frequenting adult entertainment establishments and squandered a lot of money there. At the office, such behavior became the subject of gossip, and I found it utterly distasteful. I don't want to meddle in other people's preferences, but for a married man to do such things, it shows a lack of commitment to his marriage. That's probably why his wife got fed up and left. Cheating and casually visiting those kinds of places. I couldn't help but feel sorry for his wife. One day, I was handed a transfer order. The destination was a rural branch in a state I had never been to before. I've worked hard and my sales numbers aren't bad. I couldn't understand why I was being demoted, so I decided to go talk to HR about it. This must be some kind of mistake. I had just closed a big deal recently and even received direct praise from President Martin. I was told I was on track for a promotion, so this demotion made no sense at all. When I went to confront Director Johnson in HR, he was leisurely doing his work. Or rather, he was online shopping, brazenly browsing a shopping site called Jungle on his work computer, looking for deals on sale. What? You need something? I'm kinda busy here. Sorry to interrupt your shopping. I meant it as a dig, but it seemed to fly right over his head. That's right, I'm busy shopping, he said. Can't you see? I need to spend $100 by noon to get the points. Ah, I see. But, no offense, I don't think shopping is something you should be doing during work hours. What? I don't need you to tell me what to do. Seriously, you're annoying. Anyway, what did you want to talk about? It's about this transfer to Georgia. Is there some kind of mistake? Why do I have to go? No, it's not a mistake. You have to go to Georgia. Because you're in the way. In the way? How am I in the way? I'm from the sales department, and I don't think I've caused any trouble for HR. Did I do something? If I did, I'll apologize, but I don't remember doing anything. If you're sending me away because I'm in the way, I'd like an explanation, please. That's because you're a nuisance to me and Amelia. Amelia is mine now. You're being discarded. I've already been intimate with Amelia. She was so adorable, just as I expected from the woman I chose. Just thinking about Amelia makes my heart race. I was dumbfounded at first, not understanding what was being said. But as I began to comprehend, my anger reached its peak. So, this director stole my wife, Amelia. The director was 55 years old at the time, and Amelia was 24. The age difference was enough to be father and daughter, and the thought of him touching her was disgusting and nauseating. I felt dizzy and like I was about to pass out. I wanted to unleash my anger directly, but causing trouble in the company could lead to being fired, not just demoted. No matter how despicable Director Johnson's actions were, if I harmed him, I'd be arrested in no time. I wanted to avoid that at all costs, so I held back and returned to my desk. I felt nauseous all day and couldn't concentrate on work, eventually rushing to the bathroom to throw up. The lunch Amelia had made for me came back up, and I was overwhelmed with indescribable feelings. What was Amelia thinking while she was making this lunch? I had always thought she made it with me in mind, but was her head filled with thoughts of Director Johnson instead? The idea that she could be cheating on me with him, behind my back, was the lowest of the low. Amelia had been approached by Director Johnson before, but she seemed to dislike it. Now, thinking that she might have pretended to dislike it while actually liking him made me so frustrated I could sob. Amelia was supposed to be working outside that day and came straight home, and I arrived to find her already there, acting as if nothing was wrong and cooking dinner. I couldn't even look at her properly. Eating dinner in silence, Amelia finally spoke up with a puzzled look. "Hey, you've been quiet the whole time. Didn't you like the curry today?" "No, that's not it. The curry's good today, too. I was just wondering what you were thinking while cooking it." "Huh? What do you mean what was in my mind? There's nothing much to it, really. I just made it without thinking much about anything." "Noah, you're acting strange. What's wrong? It makes sense you'd think it's strange. After all, your heart no longer belongs to me anymore." When I said that, Amelia looked shocked. I thought, did she think that I had uncovered the affair? But then, she smirked and dropped a bombshell on me. "Well, since it's out, there's no helping it. Yes, I've been having an affair with Director Johnson from HR. Actually, I'm planning to be with him. He's divorced his wife already." "That can't be. Amelia, you made such a disgusted face when Director Johnson approached you before. You said you wouldn't want anything to do with such an old man. People change. I've come to realize that being with someone financially stable is better. Director Johnson, despite giving a hefty settlement to his ex-wife, still has plenty of money. He is a director, after all. His salary is around $200,000, which is incomparable to yours. He even gifted me a fancy bag recently, from the high-end brand I always wanted. And then another one from a different luxury brand. Being with someone wealthy is the best. I thought you weren't interested in brand-name goods. You used to say you didn't want anything from those brand stores we passed by. Was that a lie?" "Yes, that was a lie. All women love brand-name goods. Of course, as a salesperson for a multinational, I could buy them on my own, but it's nice to be gifted by a man." "Noah, even though you work for a multinational, you're stingy, and the wallet you gave me wasn't even branded. I wasn't happy with it at all. I've already thrown it away since I got a branded one now." "That's enough. Thanks for the meal." Realizing I had been cheated, I felt so sad and frustrated that I couldn't help myself. Unable to contain my emotions, I retreated to my room and hit my pillow. Still not feeling any better, I tore up some useless papers into pieces and scattered them around. I knew I would have to clean it up later, but I needed to do something to calm down. Still irritated, I went outside in my sandals. It was summer, but cool at night. A tear rolled down my cheek, but I decided not to care. Later, before moving to my new assignment, I divorced Amelia. Since her affair was the reason, I planned to get alimony from her and Director Johnson, who said he would cover Amelia's part. Amelia probably didn't want to spend her own money. She called me stingy, but I couldn't help thinking she was the stingy one. Moving to the countryside was a change, and I was bewildered by everything new. Unlike New York, there were local customs and annoying rules. At first, everyone was distant towards me, an outsider, but gradually they started being kinder. 3 years passed, and I was called back to the headquarters. I was thrilled to be going back to headquarters. Though I have grown fond of the countryside, my home was still in New York City, where I had lived for many years. The day I returned to headquarters, I saw my ex-wife Amelia and Director Johnson arm in arm. I wondered why they were still so close even at headquarters. "Oh, if it isn't low-income Noah. Why did you come back?" "I'm back because I was reassigned. They said it was okay for me to return here." "Oh, really? Surprising someone like you could come back." "Well, yeah." "Amelia, don't be too harsh, or you'll make him cry." "Right, honey." "Honey." "Yes, Amelia is now my wife. We get married after that. We're living a happy life together now. I'm thrilled to have a young wife like Amelia. Thanks for letting me have her." "You remarried Amelia, then? Are you really okay with that, Amelia?" "Of course, I'm okay with it. After all, I got to marry a wealthy director. He's the best husband ever. He buys me anything I want, and we even went to Italy and France on our last vacation. For New Year's, we stayed at a luxury hotel and enjoyed the finest spa and aesthetic treatments. All thanks to Robert, who makes $200,000 a year." Amelia referred to Director Johnson by his first name, Robert, indicating they were quite close. It seemed like she was living a lavish lifestyle and wanted to brag about it to me. Director Johnson has 2 college-age children living with his ex-wife. It's a bit weird that Amelia is not much older than his children. While we were talking, a blonde beauty ran up to us, panting. "I've been looking for you, Mr. President. This way, please." "Oh, sorry, we were just chatting." "Sir, please." "Huh? President? Is she crazy?" "Noah can't be the president. Come on, don't make me laugh." "Hey, Amelia, watch your mouth." "What's the matter, Robert? Why are you panicking?" "It's not because this woman is prettier than me, right? Sure, she has blonde hair, blue eyes, and a slim figure, almost like a doll. No, she's the president's daughter." "What? The president's daughter? Wasn't she supposed to be in France all this time?" "Actually, she came back to pursue her career here." "Nice to meet you. I'm Charlotte, the daughter of President Martin of Max Beauty Company. I was born and have grown up in Paris until I was 16, but I graduated college in the States." "What's with this high-spec woman?" "Charlotte is President Martin's daughter, born and raised in Paris. So she speaks French like a native. Her mother is French, so she spoke French at home as much as possible, and since she went to college in the States, she naturally speaks English fluently. To add, President Martin of our Max Beauty Company was also raised in France, so he speaks French fluently." Charlotte took my hand and linked arms with me. Seeing Director Johnson looking a bit jealous, Amelia got angry. "What? Robert, don't tell me you're having dirty thoughts about Charlotte while I'm around." "No, that's not it. Amelia is the number one for me." "Well, never mind. But tell me, how come Noah is the president? What's going on?" "You'll find out in the meeting. We need to hurry. It's about to start. The president and the other executives are already waiting. We better rush then. Can't keep the president and everyone waiting." "But it's strange, there wasn't supposed to be a meeting today. It wasn't mentioned on the information sharing board either. It was decided all of a sudden. So, it's natural no one knew. We usually use an online information sharing board and chat. It lets us see what everyone is up to online. With more employees working from home lately, we've started using these online services, especially for employees with children. Unforeseen leaves might be necessary. Therefore, the president made the environment more conducive to remote work by introducing these tools." We hurried to the meeting room. The board members were all there, with President Martin sitting at the president's seat. "Sorry for the sudden call. The board members wanted to hear in detail about the sales in Georgia. It's grown so much, they wanted to know what methods you used. The French headquarters might find your insights useful." "Oh, is that so? I haven't prepared any materials, though. Is that all right? It's fine that you didn't bring any documents. We just want to hear everything that's in your head." "Understood. Then, I'll begin my explanation. I clearly explained to everyone the methods of sales activities we conducted in Georgia along with the sales trends. The executives were taking notes and listened intently. President Martin occasionally looked stern, but in the end, he nodded in approval and even smiled. It's impressive how you succeeded in Georgia with that approach. Maybe we should start adopting that method too. I'm honored to receive your praise. Come on, Noah. You don't have to be so formal. You can even call me James if you want. Well, that's... What? James. What's going on here? President Martin is Noah's father-in-law. I'm confused. Director Johnson and Amelia were staring at the president with wide eyes. President Martin, chuckling merrily, said to Director Johnson and Amelia, "Huh? Didn't you know? My daughter Charlotte and Noah got married." What? Noah married the president's daughter. So, Noah has become part of the president's family. Oh, right. Noah has become an important member of our family. Oh yes, I forgot to mention something crucial. Since I'm returning to France, I've decided to leave Noah in charge of the U.S. headquarters. My mother doesn't have much time left, and although I've been in the States for a long time, I want to be by her side towards the end. Though Charlotte and I were born in Paris, the States is like a homeland to us, but my mother is a typical French person and seems to have struggled in the States. Maybe that's why, but she became sickly after turning 60. I'm 57 now, but I think I'm healthier than my mother was at my age. Perhaps my mother should have lived in France after all. Well, that's why I'm entrusting everything to Noah. Can't believe it. This dude became the new president. Director Johnson was frozen in place. Yes, I was married to President Martin's daughter, Charlotte. While at the Royal Branch, I had been on several business trips to France. Charlotte was taking care of her grandmother in France, that is, President Martin's mother, while working diligently. I had also been a young caregiver for my mother. She passed away relatively young, and I believed that caring for a family member was one of the hardest things. So I listened empathetically to Charlotte's story. Then, Charlotte came to see me as someone she could rely on, and she began to share everything with me. We became closer as we shared our troubles with each other. Of course, I didn't want to keep secrets from Charlotte, so I told her about how my ex-wife Amelia was taken by Director Johnson and we got divorced. Charlotte got angry as if it were her own issue and then shared the pain with me. It made me happy to know there was a woman who would shed tears for me. After Amelia left me and was demoted, I had been all alone, unable to trust anyone, and had closed off my heart. I had thought there was no point in believing in people anymore, and had been going solo at work. Charlotte told me I should rely on others more and work together. Apparently, I looked exhausted and pale, likely on the verge of getting sick due to my distressed state. Taking Charlotte's advice, I decided to rely more on my colleagues at the California branch. Instead of just pushing my own methods, I listened to everyone's opinions and quickly incorporated the good points. This allowed us to sell Max Beauty Company's products even to men who usually don't wear makeup. Recently, there has been an increase in men who are called beauty conscious, using primer and foundation. I had assumed that only young, beauty-sensitive people or those who admire K-pop stars would do such things. However, after conducting thorough research, I found that there were surprisingly many men interested in skincare and beauty products, so I decided to push our products more towards men. I could say that men's beauty products are not indispensable to everyday life. Unlike essential items such as clothing, food, or shelter, they can be considered a luxury in some sense. But applying makeup can also nourish the soul. Our survey shows that many women said that even on days when they lacked motivation, putting on makeup boosted it. Applying their favorite eyeshadow or doing their nails could brighten their mood even when they were feeling down. I also asked men about the change in their mood before and after applying makeup. Then they answered, "Just applying the primer made me feel brighter." Men don't usually wear heavy makeup, so I've been promoting products like primer, lightweight foundation, and moisturizing lip balm to them. Too much color can make it obvious that you're wearing makeup, creating an unnatural and artificial look. Once, when I hosted a men's makeup workshop in Georgia, it was unexpectedly crowded, and we had to distribute numbered tags. The cosmetics we sold there were sold out in no time. Also, when we placed men's cosmetics in rig stores, they sold out quickly. and we had to produce more. This was all possible because of the teamwork with my colleagues and following Charlotte's advice. When I had the chance to see Charlotte again, I thanked her, and she said it was all thanks to me. Gradually, I found myself drawn to Charlotte and asked her to date me. Charlotte had also developed a crush on me, and from that day, we started dating with marriage in mind. Half a year later, we get married a bit hastily, but we made it to the finish line. Of course, I had President Martin's blessing. My father-in-law, President Martin, said, "I'm happy to have a kind and excellent person like Noah as my son-in-law." President Martin was about to go back to France, planning to leave the U.S. headquarters in my hands, which made me nervous. However, Charlotte assured me that I could fulfill my duties as president, encouraging me to lead everyone confidently. I can't believe this. I married Director Johnson because he had money, and now Noah becomes the president. I should have just stayed married to Noah. What? Are you saying you married me just for my money? Obviously. Who would willingly be with an old guy like you? The only good thing about you was your money. Even my parents said not to remarry because you were too old. I should never have married such an old man. Noah, let's get back together. I've realized you are the best husband for me. I'll be more devoted to you, so please, let's remarry. No, I think I'll pass. Besides, didn't I tell you I've remarried Charlotte? Weren't you listening? It's clear now that Amelia was only interested in money. Well, at least I know that now. That's terrible. How could you? Do you think I deserve to be with an old man like him? Yes. I think you're a perfect match. I cheerfully said that. Amelia and Director Johnson are well suited for each other, making a perfect couple. Both have terrible personalities, comfortably committing the lowest of actions. People like them should spend their lives together. Amelia finally broke down crying, making a scene in front of everyone. Director Johnson tried to calm her down, but she snapped, "Don't touch me anymore," leaving him perplexed. The executives and President Martin could only offer wry smiles at such a spectacle. Charlotte too was speechless, looking at Amelia and the director as if they were something distasteful. Eventually, Amelia and the director's relationship soured to the point of divorce. I believe the director couldn't cope with Amelia's selfishness any longer. Amelia was a spendthrift, yet stingy with her own earnings, never wanting to spend a dime. I remember, even when we were married, she hardly contributed to the household expenses. She always made excuses, not contributing a single cent to the living costs. I didn't marry for money, but when a childless couple both work and split the household chores, I think it's fair to share the living expenses. Our take-home pay wasn't that different, and I felt there would have been no hard feelings if she had contributed even a little. I heard from the HR department that Director Johnson has been distressed daily since divorcing Amelia. Now that they're divorced, I thought he wouldn't have anything to worry about, but it seems he's struggling with debt. He had to give up a portion of his assets and pay alimony after divorcing his previous wife. Then, he paid me alimony because of his affair with Amelia. After remarrying Amelia, it seems he racked up a significant amount of debt trying to cater to her demands. He was paying off debt with more debt until he finally got so deep into multiple debts that his salary was garnished. Amelia thought there would still be money left, but surprisingly, he was nearly penniless. The reason why the thrifty Amelia was broke had a story behind it. In addition to being materialistic, she was known to frequent male entertainment bars. She spent a significant amount, including on expensive bottles of champagne, and her unpaid credit card bill reached thousands of dollars. Moreover, it was discovered that she even paid the rent on behalf of her favorite male escort. It's ironic how she wouldn't contribute to living expenses while we were married but splurged on a male escort. She's the worst. I convinced myself that I made a precise decision to file for a divorce. Charlotte, unlike Amelia, is decent and very kind. Although she was born and raised in Paris, she has a sense of American culture, knowing how to read the room without being overly assertive like typical French people. Yet, she speaks up where it matters. This was true even at home. If I insisted on wearing worn-out clothes to save money, she would say rather than wearing such things, we should cut back on buying candies every day. You should buy a new shirt, she said to me, and suggested that my old, worn-out clothes could be turned into rags. I always thought that taking good care of everything was important, but she taught me that not caring how one appears to others, especially as a president, might not be a good thing. Indeed, she might be right upon reflection. It's commendable to take good care of possessions and to be frugal, but if it comes off as looking poor or miserly, it might lose people's trust. I thought Amelia was a bit miserly, but then I wondered what I was doing becoming stingy myself. So, I stopped buying snacks every day and bought a new shirt instead. Cutting down on candies is good for health, and buying good quality shirts made me feel inclined to take care of them properly, handling them with care. Yay, that shirt can be worn to work, and you look handsome in it, so I think it's good. Really. Thanks. It's funny, I used to waste money, and now I was being unnecessarily frugal. I hate being stingy. It's something you don't realize on your own, how much you're spending on what. You are buying $6 worth of candies every day, but if you do that for 30 days, that's $180. That's almost $200, right? With $200, you could buy a pretty decent outfit, not super high-end, but still nice. We have to be mindful of our budget like that. Besides, if a president is seen wearing tattered shirts, it could start rumors that the company's finances are in trouble, right? It really does matter how others see us, especially since I hold a certain position, and I don't want to embarrass my James back in France. Well, you don't have to pay too much attention to my dad, but personal appearance is definitely important. Our company is in the cosmetics business, after all, so paying a bit extra attention to how we look might be good, right? Tighten up where we need to and spend money on what's important. It's the essence of saving. For the daughter of a president, you're incredibly practical. It's not about spending money on everything. Oh, you know, business owners are good at saving. We do tax planning, after all. So, at home, I'm always thinking about where to allocate resources. I've been educated about money from a young age, so I like to think I know how to handle it. What a reliable wife she is. I realized I still have a lot to learn as a president. Spending money on unnecessary things and not investing in what's important. That's far from being a president who is respected. In business, deciding carefully where to cut back and where to focus is crucial. We boldly discontinued the underperforming departments and focused on men's cosmetics, which turned profitable. Moving forward, I'll aim to become a better president with Charlotte's guidance. Of course, I plan to grow as a husband too.